Hey, what's going on, Benacava Nation? I just had a crash, and that crash made me decide that I am no longer going to wear chest harnesses for my camera. I'm going to go all in on helmet-mounted cameras, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so I was at the local spot right now at the jump line, and it was really windy, but I really wanted to try the line. I really haven't just hit it since the gathering, and I was able to do that a couple times. Ooh, that's tight. And then Jake wanted me to try the new session jump, and it was really windy, and I sat up there for a while just thinking, maybe I shouldn't, but then the wind quieted down just a little bit, and I saw a window of opportunity, and I went for it, and I cased it the first time, so obviously I wasn't content with that, and I went back up, waited for another lull in the wind, and went for it a second time. Now, I've done this jump, but since I've done it, Jake has really kind of carved out the landing. It's way more pronounced now. It's a definite gap, whereas before it was kind of just a hump on the ground that came up, and if you case it, it wasn't that big of a deal. Now it looks like a big bowl that goes kind of around the lip, and casing it looks a lot scarier. So I went for it a second time, and that time it was fine. I have a hard time hitting jumps right after berms, which is kind of the situation here. You drop in, you gotta pedal a few times to get your speed, you hit this little small berm, and then you gotta like straighten out because that jump becomes quick. And I felt a lot of times, I feel like I'm coming out of that turn and I'm still kind of, my bike and my body are kind of turned to the left, and I go off the jump to the left. I was able to correct that by not going so deep into my turn, just kind of using the berm a little bit, straightening out, and then really like pumping the jump. So I had gotten a good shot of it, I'd gotten a good jump off of it, and I should have called it a day. But of course, I decided to go for another run. I went back up, again, waited for a lull. It wasn't really coming, I got impatient, and I just went for it. I ended up trying to get a little steezy as well. I'm not even sure what happened. I think I landed on my back wheel first. But I went down, and I went down pretty hard. The impact was mostly like my shoulder took a lot of the impact. My forearm and like my elbow guard got scraped kind of off of my arm a little bit. It was like pulled up on my arm, so I've got a kind of scraped up on my forearm as well. All in all, not so bad. I know my buddy Zabo and Willie have recently crashed, and they've actually broken stuff. They ended up in the hospital. I was able to walk away from this, which I'm grateful for. But in the impact, I somehow also slammed my chest onto the ground, and the camera was hooked onto my chest with my stuntman harness here, and it just snapped right off. I mean, the impact was so hard that it snapped off. I don't know if you can see it, but the little part where the camera usually has, this is where like those three little fingers are, and they go on here, and then the camera gets bolted onto these little things. Anyway, these things just snapped right off, and my chest kind of hurts because the camera ended up like just impaling me. And I'm lucky that I had this specific chest harness, the Stuntman chest harness. I've talked about it in previous videos that I've made. It's really wider, and it's got a really nice base, and I feel like it dissipates impact a lot better than some of the smaller harnesses that I've had in the past. But even then, I still, I landed on the ground, and I've got my camera protruding out here a few inches, and then this thing protrudes out a few inches. So it's like this, rod that's sticking out of my chest, and I hit, and this thing just went right into my chest. Oh, that hurts. I shouldn't do that. And the camera snapped right off. And for that reason, you guys, I am no longer going to wear chest harnesses. I've loved this chest harness. I really like the perspective you get with a chest harness. I like how you kind of get the cockpit. You get a lot of the trail, especially when you're filming in 16:9 or 9:16 mode. But I feel like I got lucky in this crash. I feel like I got lucky with this impact. I feel like it could have been a lot worse. I am going to buy whatever I need to buy, figure out ways to put the camera on my helmets, both on my full face helmet, which that one's easy. I already have kind of a chin mount on that one. So on my full face helmet, this kind of came with a previous helmet that I had. It's not the prettiest strap, but it does really well. So you just hang the camera off of here as if my camera was in this, you know, it just hangs off of there. And you're able to kind of look around and the camera follows you, and you may like that, you may not like that, but you get a pretty good perspective as well. I also really like up here and be able to have the camera up here. And then this helmet really has a lot of room for that. My other helmet doesn't have as much room. I don't know if I could fit the 11 on there. Might consider getting rid of the 11 and getting the mini, because it's a lot smaller, and I know that that would fit in all these nooks and crannies in the helmets a lot better. But anyway, just wanted to make a quick video. We all go down. It happens sooner or later. Hopefully, you know, your crashes aren't bad. Because of this crash, because of the pain that I'm feeling, and I feel like I took a big, like, punch to the chest. I like it because it rotates like every direction, but man, it really kind of acted as like a ramming rod today, and it just nailed me in the chest. So I think I'm done with chest harnesses. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. Let me know what your thoughts are in terms of camera mounting positions. Where do you like your camera? Have you had a similar experience where you've had a bad crash and you had a chest mounted camera and felt like punched you in the chest? So that's about it. I will see you guys on the next one. Catch you on the trails. All right.